Time for the review of Wizard Barristers. Like, comment, and subscribe to join the anime family. The story takes place in Tokyo 2018, where normal humans and those who use magic coexist. As a result, there are laws against using magic, and a magic courtroom exists to preside over lawsuits regarding magic use. In these cases, Ben Mesh, or Wizard's Barristers, defends those who use magic. The anime follows Celia, the youngest Ben Mesh in history, and her associates as they defend clients in these cases. This anime has about 12 episodes. It premiered January 13th, 2004 to March 31st, 2004. This is an original series. It is action, police, magic, fantasy, and mecha. Each episode is 20 minutes per episode and is rated PG-13. Now let's get started into the review. One thing might come to your mind and you might think, Yasmin, what is a wizard barrister? Now, you separate those two words. This might spark some curiosity in your head. The term wizard automatically assumes the series deals with magical theme and magical elements. Then there's the barrister, a lesser familiar term, and by Googling the standard definition for it, a barrister deals with the law and essentially a lawyer found in law jurisdiction. So combining these two terms result in a lawyer who uses magic. You're not wrong at the first thing that comes to your mind. But something to consider is the main female protagonist, CEO Sudo. Starting her career as a wizard barrister, she is the youngest known member in history at age 15. But in a world that is combined with crime and politics, there's no such thing as young. Crime exists for centuries, and for CL, is a world that she takes on as a wizard barrister. And I think overall in the show, that has the action-packed science fiction reality that deals with what you think of law and magic and how the judicial system will work out with those two factions. Besides, law is very increasingly intense in this anime, and I think the futuristic setting kind of the term of itself that is set in 2018. Technology has definitely efficiently evolved in Tokyo to hire wizards barristers to represent the accused and the guilty in the court of magic. Now, it is noted that there's a slight change in society and how it's adapted to the coexistence between human and wizard, as they're often called WUD users in their world. Rather than the revolution breaking out, I feel like the show adapted its standard, which involves committing crime with magic, having wizard barristers as their lawyers and enforcers to deal with them. Throughout the first episodes, the formatting of the pacing does do a great job of focusing different cases on different characters and their motivations and the crime that they represent, the cases that they represent of their client, that the crime they commit. And I think one also notable factor is often revisiting Cecile's past and that journey that puts her on. And why she became a lawyer in the first place. And then you see the laws of the justice system in society, and you see each of the character motivations beyond that, and like what is their goal to keep going on in their society. And I feel like even in the societal pressures in this show in particular, it does tend to get a prejudice against people who are different, especially the magic users in general. And I don't want to give too much away, but I want you all to enjoy it for yourself. I think the overarching theme and representation of the majority of the female of the cast are female, and you do have your small faction of guys in this, but it's privately focusing on the female characters and how their power is hierarchy different from the males. Now, with that being said, with the female protagonist and the cast supporting it and the faults that lie in the justice system, the main character does way beyond her client's representation, as she does deal with some type of law-breaking citizens and decisions that she chooses for herself and things that she has to do that she feels right. And her basic approach to it is, when you get to know her a little better, you'll see her personality really come through, and as she tries to adapt, also keeping true to herself and not trying to lose herself in the society that she lives in due to the high crime factor. Now, throughout the entire series, I think for this anime in particular, I think it was a fair amount experimental anime since it is an original idea. It did take some getting used to because you didn't see an anime with the same particular content before, and just an interesting twist on it. Other than that, besides the character narrations and the setting and the environment, it does take the modern twist to Tokyo and the laws of the form exist in other places in the world. Now, there could be sense of a con of lack of diversity, and I can understand that. In taking a different location, you think you have a wide range of different cast members and different characters in the show, but that wasn't the case here. Now, besides the lackluster effect of lack of characters and the characterization of the characters, since we didn't have the same similar spotlight that the main character and her supporting coworkers in this anime, I feel like the show focuses less on the justice system, but more on the criminals who they represent as the wizard barrister, as their lawyers and clients relationship. I feel like if they focus equal balance on the jurisdiction and the law aspect and the clientele, along with the criminal reputation in the show, I think it would balance out really well how the system actually works in their society and how it all makes sense of the judging, and the jury, and the how the sentences are passed, basically. But it doesn't really focus on that. It just deals with more of the criminal side of it, which is fair, I guess. But then overall, you kind of have that there are a lot of running gags in here, some fan service here and there. Other than that, the artwork is really interesting. It does take you aback. It does have it set in this glamorized setting, and the mixture between like action, mecha-like movement, and magic does an interesting role of a cocktail of entertainment. But as sometimes in episodes, they can be really like, depending on the episode, it can be fast-paced or slow-paced, depending on the person who's starring the episode and the clientele who they're representing of what crime they committed. Now, the music soundtrack is, I would say, pretty standard, and it fits the style of the anime really well. And if you want to watch Wizard Basket, I feel like you're on a journey of like the Matrix, but on a totally different level of the Matrix, minus the alien invasions. But somewhere, I feel like it's on a different level, but I think it might draw down to the heart for the main character, and kind of a sense of Phoenix Wright and like all those law games. Kind of think a feel of that. Just add matter to it, and just still hyped up crime system that's way the pay level for Phoenix Wright and all the other Phoenix Wright attorneys that starred in the games, you know I'm talking about. But also it has a good story, but more about policing, the magic additions with the intriguing Oracle story that is more character driven than plot driven. But don't take my word for it. Definitely check it out for yourself and let me know what you think.